So, hello everybody again. Let's have a little bit closer look to the R&D side now, to the design. So actually, what is Microchip doing? Microchip is basically a manufacturer of silicon, which means microcontroller, analog components, and interfacing products. So actually what is addressed to designers, to developers. From my side, I'm Harald Weidinger. As a key client manager, I support Microrisk, IQRF, the IQRF Alliance, which means I'm responsible for Czech and the surrounding countries. And normally I have the pleasure to work quite close with design teams who design products like we just have seen from Protonics, for example, where the R&D and production is in one side. What challenge do we have today? So basically, if we have a look on the existing products mainly in the market, there are many things what are not connected so far, right? So like this CO2 in the past or other products, they have the need that you get more interactive communication or to connect to a network. Because actually if you think this, everybody is talking about Internet of Things, but actually this is already existing from the components point of view. We have the end products, we have the interfacing, we have just to bring everything together. As Vlada mentioned in the beginning, this is like a puzzle, where you really have to put this together, and then you have operating Internet of Things activity. So basically this is nothing new. What is the idea from Microchip here behind and the focus and target? So since Microchip has already a very good access to the market for microcontrollers, for many components, actually this is something what is not enough today. So you have to differentiate somehow. And this you are doing normally through a solution, and nowadays one step further through a concept behind. Because even so, if you have the best solution, it will not bring you anything if you cannot bring it to the market, or if you will have not the proper price performance fit. So if you're not selling, then it's nice to have a good product, but it doesn't bring too much. Yeah, therefore the development of the proper solutions and environment is quite important for us, for Microchip. Together, this is also the reason why we are here, why we engage with the IQRF Alliance, with this team, with you all together. Because together, this actually makes it happen finally. So this is where it goes. What is very important, and even in bold here, so the time to market normally. This is something what is quite key criteria. So what I follow now for the last 10 years, I would say, there were many solutions in the market, also from Microchip side. But most of the time we had the problem that the customers couldn't come to market fast enough. So they were losing time to market, they were losing their market with the products. And this is something what is now addressed very well with IQRF, because you really have an attach what brings you to the market fast. And this is something what you need to be successful in the market. So the end-to-end solutions and the framework, I would say from the technical point of view, things are already in place. So you have to just put it together. The infrastructure, this is still a challenge, definitely. So this is building up in many sites, for many standards even. So here you see in parallel many infrastructure things going up and developing. And also what is something to take care on the profit. So basically many companies have worked already and started in a very good way, but finally they couldn't get the proper money out of this. So this is also something we have to keep in mind. Yeah, if we think these blocks together, and from the presentations we have seen today, there are the blocks already in place. So If you think the sensing, for example, protronics, good example, CO2 sensor, but you have to connect somehow. Then the control for this. Nowadays, encryption more and more a topic because of security reasons. In the past, it was very nice to connect. You didn't take care so much on security. Nowadays, it's moving because all these hack issues. And also because of the infrastructure. If you have it in your home and expand it to many systems and devices, you would like to have a secure system. So this is also a focus nowadays. Security. Connectivity. Connectivity means also to have more communication interfaces. For example, you have IQRF as a network, let's say the mesh network, and then somewhere you would like to read out data with the mobile phone or something. So you have an additional connectivity, maybe with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth or something. So here more and more interactions happen with more combinations as well. And authentication. What we have seen from Adam today, for example, the cloud partners, a very important topic nowadays to bring this together. So the network alone is one thing, but to get the money out of it, you have to develop a business model behind. And this is where the cloud partner comes into place, to get also here some returns. And also, as it was mentioned in the beginning from our colleagues from O2, also the end customer has to see the benefit, right? So if you do not have the benefit, you will not pay for this. So this is what is at the moment still a big topic, including the app partners then. Yeah, from Microchip point of view, if we see it as a platform, so as a main platform, this is quite scalable. You have your microcontroller platform as a heart, and then around some analog components and also modules, communication, interfacing. So basically, this is something what can be provided also from other sides. So this is nothing to differentiate. More vendors are on the market who are focusing on this. So therefore, especially for the designers, Microchip made a strategy to make it quite flexible and scalable, which means you can start with a small 6-pin micro up to a 144-pin platform with a huge memory to make a flash or something to have a quite big scalability. I will not go too deep into this R&D, but just to show the flexibility. What is very important nowadays is one thing, this end-of-life thing. So especially in industry, if you have partners in industry or also especially automotive, medical, where you have very long cycles from the product. Sometimes it takes very long time to develop a product, certifications, a lot of cost. So what would happen if you are using, for example, a micro platform, some product, and then the vendor is saying, okay, that's end of life because of certain reasons. And then you have to redesign, which means a lot of cost. And this is where Microchip supports very strong our partners and customers, that we keep the products in life. So there are products in the market with 20-year plus, and you still can get it. For sure it's not promoted from the marketing side on the website, but on demand you can still have it. So this is something what we underline for longevity and for the approach to the industry. Very important. Also the quality. Quality, it depends. Some of the products go into consumer, some go into the industry, automotive and medical. But every segment needs a certain level of quality. And therefore also Microchip sets a very high level on quality standards. Also this reflects the business, already 20% in automotive, for example, and what is used for all the products. So here, when you're using Microchip, you will very seldom feel some issues with quality or RMA or something. So this is actually what differentiates on top of the product, on top of the silicon. So there's some business model topics behind. If we have a closer look now to the IoT space, so there's a lot of researches. So there is no exact number if you see the different guys who make the evaluation. But what is for sure, a lot of customers, and this includes all of us here as well, are more or less mid-range companies, right? So it's especially, I'm coming from Austria. In Austria, a typical company is between 1 and 10 people. So this is mainstream. And then you have some companies up to 50 and 100 people. But these huge companies with a few hundred plus or thousands of people are quite a few. So this Internet of Things, basically, with all these many products, what we have seen already, and the connectivity, will be definitely handled by a lot of customers, by a lot of companies, different companies, where Microchip also focuses on, now with a customer base of 90,000 customers, to support a very broad range and to have a very broad market access. So this means, especially for IoT, where you have many different sensors, interactors, and so on, this is a very good combination, a very good fit. And yeah, here it's mentioned again, this end-of-life policy. This brings also different industries together. So there is no fear from the different guys that there is an issue with their products. They have to do some modification or redesigns. If we have a closer look to the standards, there are a lot of standards. So these are some standards from the Microchip point of view, what are focused from Microchip, and what are also supported. There is for sure this Wi-Fi standard. Here you can have ready modules, you address a serial, attach to your system, and then you have a Wi-Fi interface to your product, for example. Bluetooth, standard Bluetooth, Bluetooth low energy. Also here you have some different possibilities. Normally this is also done with modules, especially for mid-range quantities, I would say, where you have a ready certified module as well, what you can attach and use as a ready solution. Ethernet is something what is a wired communication. Also this is still a very, very big player in the market, a big field of business, especially in the industry segment. Maybe somebody heard the name Micrel or SMSC in the past. This is something what came to Microchip and now is supported under Microchip after the acquisitions. Now it comes a little bit closer, what is more related to the IQRF communication. So there was in the past, and still is, this Zigbee alliance. So you see Microchip is participating on different alliances. So around, I think 10 years ago it was when Microchip joined the Zigbee alliance. It was a very euphoric topic that time. Many companies started with Zigbee. But finally, we had the experience that unfortunately not too many companies came to market with the product. So they had a huge development effort, a very long time for development, licensing issues. You have to pay a license as well, what you have to take care. And this was some stopper to bring it to such a broad market. So just a few companies realized this, some big players, to use Zigbee in their products. And MiWi was the answer on this that time. So it was a so-called small Zigbee stack, what was much more easier to handle. But still, you had a lot of efforts on the programming side to tailor this on the software side, and you had to have the know-how, therefore, a specialist who is experienced on tailoring this. So this is also why we saw already several companies realizing good projects in the market, but also not such the broad mainstream, so that everybody is realizing, because you have to have the proper R&D, you have the time and invest the proper investment as well. Yeah, finally, if we stay here, IQRF Alliance, this was also one of the reasons why Microchip joined the IQRF Alliance, what is still quite young compared to other alliances. Here we saw the needs from you, from the customer side, are understood very well and addressed very well. So here you really have it easy, a fast time to the market, and also if you see it from the investment point of view, it is something I can attach and can realize my project. So if I have something existing, we can add this and extend. We have some further standards like this LoRa, this long-range radio. This is something with small data volumes, for example, for some tracking or sending some parameters. Also power over Ethernet, quite an interesting topic. And furthermore, also the cooperation with Amazon Cloud Services, for example. Also here, the expansion to make a complete solution concept is more and more ongoing to have it supported, also including the cloud. Yeah, if we have a closer look to the embedded system normally, this is maybe interesting for some of your designers here. Everything what is red, blue or green is supported by Microchip, so it's already a far-reaching solution concept. Basically, normally you start with the platform, microcontroller platform, and then you extend with the analog components, with sensors, sensing, with the signal chain, with the power supply, powering, and also with driving the different parts up to human interfacing communication. Also here, this is more and more a topic how you can interface. If you have a display on your product, for example, you can decide, you can touch it, you can do it with gesture, 3D, that you do not have to touch it, you can do it with some air movements as well. So here there are also some concepts to consider and more possibilities to make it more fancy and to attract it more to the market. So there's always a good comparison with the smartphone, for example. In the past you had also the buttons. Nowadays everybody's just sliding on the glass. So this is a very good movement from the traditional buttons to a new generation of interfacing, for example. Yeah, if we have a look here now, so memories, amplifiers, a lot of communication possible, LAN, CAN, LIN, and so on. Here you have a lot of possibilities. What we focus today, for sure, is here on the wireless part. So IQRF is here really a very nice attach, also for systems from Microchip. So Microchip, even so is a silicon provider, offers a lot of demo boards, what you can already use. You can use it for testing, you can use it for developing, and it's also scalable here. If you think on the configurations, this is what we see at the moment mainly. You have some Wi-Fi communication, you go to the router and cloud, you go to, you have a Bluetooth setup, for example, you have some wireless communication with your system, but you see already the trend as well. Everywhere is already mentioned the cloud, so it's very important, and this is something what will close the loop, what we saw together here, that there are many components included, or many puzzle things, what you have to put together to bring the proper solution. Yeah, this is something what is focused here with IQRF in this area where you can have this communication, connectivity, and connection. And I think the parts we have seen today, this brings already together with the alliance. So I see this as a very valuable solution concept. Yeah, how does it look like to realize if you would like to develop something fast and easy? For sure, you can develop everything by your own, or you use so-called demo boards, development boards, where you have different setups. Some are coming with a Wi-Fi module, some are with a Bluetooth module already equipped, or some other components. What is very interesting here, you see here this sign here. It's called Microbus. I'm not sure if somebody knows the company Microelectronica in Serbia. Very good one. So basically they are using this Microbus to interface so-called clickboards. And clickboards helps you that you can extend sensors, actuators, and now very, very soon also IQRF modules. So Microelectronica is working already on the implementation of IQRF modules. And then you can just use this bus, what you see here, and click this module and you have a complete environment. And this tailored up to your needs. So here, I can go further. You see there are more different boards available. So it's, for example, Curiosity, something quite cheap and easy, just to get started and do some easy things, up to a 32-bit platform where you can realize some more sophisticated applications, or a combination of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and things like this. And here you can see, I think you can see it well, there's in the middle, this is basically, these two rows is the Microelectronica bus, where you can just click in the board and extend it, or click in your sensor or whatever, what you need. There are a lot of clickboards already available, so this makes it also easy for so-called IoT, because you are flexible to use the proper sensors, what you would like to include, to realize your application fast. And then if you see, okay, it's working, setup is fine, then it can be realized in a own design or adapted to a own design. So basically here, this is an example of a clickboard. How it looks like, you have here the rows, and this you just plug in, and then you have it ready to use. Okay, from the strategy point of view, from the business model, basically, I think there's nothing to add here too much, because we have seen already the different strategies today. There was O2, there was Adam with the cloud, we saw some end products already even connected. So this is actually something what is reflecting also our point of view. What is definitely important here, that we think about the customer, the return of the investment for you and for the customer to set up the service. So this is something what is still in many companies in development, what will be the proper business model to get this up and running. Okay, finally, wireless. So wireless is system cost on the one hand, on the other hand, connectivity. We saw this parking example or railway. So here there are some options where it would be quite tough to set up a wired system and to implement this. So it's quite easy to realize this with a wireless solution. The easiness of installation, this is coming to the infrastructure. And to think about the profit. So here also how this can be positioned, and the flexibility behind. Flexibility in terms of the development itself as well, and the attach of the wireless. So almost every existing system now can be quite easy extended with wireless with the proper platform. Okay, yeah, and therefore IQRF makes it quite easy to realize. Okay, then thank you.